Parliament is back today, not for Barnaby Joyce. He's having a week off, more on that later. But for the Albanese Labor government, a testing week in Parliament with the Dunley by-election looming on Saturday, and it got off to a less than ideal start with the latest Newspoll. Labor still trails the coalition on primary votes, a 3-point deficit, and this translates, though, to a slender 52 to 48 two-party preferred vote for the Labor Party. This is all pretty much right where the parties were at the last election. Reflects what happened on election day. So Labor have taken their big gamble. They've punted on a clear, broken promise, a broken election promise by changing the stage 3 tax cuts. They did so that many workers could keep about $15 or $20 a week more of their own pay, expecting a reward in the polls. And they've got diddly squat. It's hardly surprising. I said at the time that they'd pay a price for breaking the promise, and the tax cuts just don't mount to much, do they? These tax cuts actually disappear with 3 Happy Meals. And don't forget, people at the higher end of Middle Australia end up paying more or face higher tax rates if they get a promotion or take on a second job. I also warned earlier this month that the Prime Minister was foolishly cocky about his poll numbers.
At the end of last year, as I said before, you had suffered a number of reverses, as I noted, particularly the Voice referendum. Do you now feel that with this you have got your mojo back?
I never lost it, Sarah.
It's not what the poll said.
Well, actually, they were ahead. We're ahead. We haven't lost, to go back to Nemesis, we haven't lost a Newspoll since I've been Prime Minister.
Yeah, he's never lost a Newspoll since he's been Prime Minister. What a silly thing to say. Yeah, Anthony Albanese was unwise then because he's now set himself a KPI, a key performance indicator, of staying ahead in the polls, which could turn ugly for him if he slips behind. A distinct possibility on those current numbers. Now, these Newspoll KPIs, they didn't work out well for Malcolm Turnbull, you'll recall. And the thing is that Labor faces the test of a by-election in the outer Melbourne suburban seat of Dunley on Saturday. Labor holds the seat reasonably comfortably with a margin of 6% at the moment. But the seat was Liberal for a long while through the Howard years and beyond, with a terrific local member in Bruce Bilson. The saving grace for Labor this time could be the reason voters are facing a by-election. Often there's a backlash in by-elections because someone has pulled the pin after an election win rather than seeing out their term. In this case, the by-election is caused by a human tragedy, of course. Labor member Peter Murphy was a popular member who bravely battled cancer, had it beaten for a long while, only to have it return.
Let's be frank. Cancer sucks. Don't kick me out for unparliamentary language. The treatments can make you sick. Sometimes you're scared, sometimes you're angry. In my experience, you're often both at the same time.
Yeah, sadly, after her courageous struggle, which won admiration on all sides of politics, Murphy lost her fight, which is why the people of Dunley need to choose a new MP. This background should make it easier for Labor to hold on. There will be, understandably, a natural tendency for people to return the seat to Murphy's party. But a poor showing will prove very ominous for the Labor government. Paul Murray is hosting a pub test in the electorate tonight. I'll catch up with him later.